G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. I've been looking around in the shed at the high banker sitting there, wondering when I'm going to use it again. It's been sitting there for a few months now and I've been finding a lot of gold crevicing, so I thought I'd go for a wander and go back to some old ground where I did some test pans probably 12 months ago, and I was getting 20 to 30 colours per pan. It's really heavy material, a lot of hard work. It's sort of ground that you want to move with a high banker. So that was yesterday. I dragged the high banker down here, spent an hour shoveling material through it and found some really nice gold. I also noticed when I was walking down here there's been a lot of areas worked, big boulders moved. They put in a considerable amount of effort, so they must have been getting some gold. I also noticed that in the bottom of where they've dug the boulders out in the crevices, still full of rocks and material. So they weren't too concerned about taking that. Clearly they were getting good gold in the overburden and the wash above it. But out of curiosity, I jammed the sandworm pump into it and done a couple of sucks into a pan, and they left a lot of gold behind. So today I thought I'll come back with a yabby pump and I'll suck some out. We'll walk up the creek, I'll show you where they've worked, explain what I'm going to do, and show you some of the nice gold that can be left behind by other prospectors. I'll show you the footage of me high banking yesterday and the nice gold I got for about an hour's run. But today we'll just yabby pump and clean out crevices and hey, see what we can get. Okay, this is one of the areas that someone else has worked. They've moved a lot of big boulders out of the way, and it wasn't far from where I was high banking. I was high banking down in there. I haven't run around here with a yabby pump yet. I'm sort of more focusing upstream. I'll take you for a walk up there and show you exactly what I've been doing. Because when I was walking out yesterday after high banking, I just sucked a I don't know, a couple of litres of material out into a bucket, took it home, panned it home, and I was very surprised with the results. So this is another big area they've worked. Moved a lot of big boulders. And these crevices in the water here were full of packed rock. And look, they still are to some extent, and I could probably spend a bit more time and break them out. But I won't, because there's so many other good spots I can scratch around in. And I cleaned that crevice out along there and took that material home. And I'll show you a photo of that in a moment. I think what we'll do today is we'll just chase another couple of crevices, move this rock. I might take a sample out of that one down there, and there's also quite a few up there that we can scratch around in, see what's in them as well. I'll show you the equipment I'm going to use. I've spoken about it before, about a yabby pump and the adapters that I use, and I highly recommend going out and buying a good stainless steel yabby pump from BCF. I've been down the road of making ones out of poly and whatnot. Look, it might be 20-30 bucks dearer to buy a stainless steel one, but you'll never wear them out. I've had mine for 2 years. I've never even put a washer in it. So gravel's gravel. The gravel in this creek's no harder than gravel in the other creek. So people wearing them out, I'm not sure what you're doing to them, but they're a good unit. That's probably the best tool I've got for this hobby anyway. It's an inexpensive hobby. That's probably one of your dearest tools, but I couldn't do it without it. All right, I'll talk you through my pump, my adapters, what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. Righto, the tools I'm going to use, obviously the yabby pump. It's just I think it's a Wilson brand one from BCF, and I've just got a bit of 50mm silicone hose and a couple of adapters from Bunnings. It's all pushed together, so there's no threads, and that's one of the adapters I use. Just that clear poly, or whatever you call it, nylon pipe, and it actually pushes over the outside of that, so you can move some large material to lift up big rocks. And then I've got a smaller one, it's the same clear material. I've been over this in a previous video, but anyway, I'll show you again. And this one actually pushes into there, so that's fairly simple. And you can remove this, if I had 2 hands would be better. And I've got another piece that you can put in there and go smaller again, so flatten it out and get right down in the real fine crevices. So it just pushes into that, like so, and into there. And I've got a few other adapters that I can get down a lot smaller, but for what we're doing today, they'll work fine. So that's the material out of that crevice I've just cleaned out. Not a hell of a lot. So we'll pan it down and see what's hiding. So that's that pan down. A few little colours starting to show up. Oh, we've got there 6 or 8 little pieces. So I mean that's 5 minutes work. But I won't stick with that crevice. There's bigger and better ones I want to tackle, so I'll probably spend a bit of time. I won't film it all. I'll just get it in buckets. It's late in the arvo, and collect it, and even if I've got a pan at the end or even pan it at home. Okay, so this is the next one I'm going to clean out. I cleaned down through here yesterday on the way home, but I'm going to clean all down through here. There's crevices that run in both directions, and that's the flow of the stream there. Now we've got the bar. I've just broken all the rocks that are packed down the crevices, and from what I can feel there's a lot of material in there. So I'll clean that out, pan it down, and we'll sort of run a short on daylight, but we'll see what we get. I suppose a lot of people probably walk up and down creeks and see areas work like this and think, we won't bother digging out. It's had the guts flogged out of it. But I more see it as an opportunity, and I see it fairly often now that people clean a section in the creek, but they don't clean it very well. Now that might be just because they're getting good gold high banking, or however they're going about it. But I find this is a lot easier, a lot less effort. It can be time consuming, cleaning out nooks and crannies, but it can be rewarding as well. It has been recently, so I'll keep cleaning this out. I might set my little McKirk up. I've got some water dammed up there, and save a little bit of time rather than panning it, so I'll get to it. Okay, what I've done, I've cleaned out half a dozen crevices that run down through here, sort of crisscross pattern. I only really focused on that area and took the bulk of the material off the top. I didn't scratch out the finer crevices and break the rocks out. I figured I'll just take off what's on the top. I was going to put in a little McKirk. It's not quite enough flow, so half a bucket. I'll make a start on panning now. Not a lot of daylight left, so worst case scenario, I'll reveal at home or pan it at home. But there's still a lot of crevice material that can be cleaned out of here yet, and that's one of many that are in the creek that haven't been worked properly. Okay, I better get to it. Alright guys, it's the next day. I ran out of daylight yesterday, Arvo. It was just, the quality of film was pretty average, so I took the cons home. I took the bucket of material home, and I just panned it at home, and yeah, I had to come back today because of what I found. You might be familiar with that sound. Anyway, I'll just reduce it down a little bit. I figured I'll continue to clean out the crevices in the same area that I was working there yesterday. I'm not going to bother filming it all. I'll probably just clean them out and do a tally at the end. I don't know if you can see that yet, but Nice little nugget in there. So, but the people who dug the hole didn't know that was still sitting in there. So that there is what I scratched out yesterday afternoon. So some nice gold, and left that little guy in there. So anyway, I'll keep cleaning and see if we can get some more of them. All right.